Hi there, and let's do the busy day of astro weather for Sunday, October 29th, the eclipse day. Okay, there is an aspect at 1:15 a.m. that is going to want us to have some deep communication in our kind of illusion versus delusion space. So while you're dreaming, you could find that your dreams are quite intense because this is quite a deep subconscious energy, and it's hard to see the reality through them. Scorpio being that, dark side, things in the shadows, fears, addictions, and the same Neptune in Pisces bringing in that kind of, foggy energy. So, really trying to find a way to use the intensity and the passion of Scorpio in our communication house to sort of understand from our imagination space how to manifest things. All right, then at 3:03 a.m. Mars making an opposition to Jupiter. So this is Mars in Scorpio wanting to use its intense energy, and Jupiter in Taurus wanting the security of the known. Okay, and Taurus being a little bit lazy. We could be quite arrogant. We could want to rush through things. We might have a resistance to the rule structures. It's just quite an extreme energy. So you might wake up on Sunday feeling quite tired because there are a lot of aspects happening before we even wake up. Because at 3:26 a.m., the moon is trining Lilith. Okay, so the moon in Taurus, sensual, like comfortable, emotional land, but very stubborn. And that is going to be looking at our self worth. Okay, Lilith in Virgo. So, we're going to probably really see how our security and our self worth has been affected by choices that we've made, by judgments that we've made, by critical natures that we have. And we'll really be looking at that in relation to our self worth. Okay. But this is a positive aspect. So it's going to be helpful in being able to see through our programs in relation to our critical natures. At 4:58 a.m., we are having an aspect between the moon in Taurus and Venus in Virgo. So this is going to be able to help us see how the give and take in a relationship creates a harmonious and secure relationship home environment. So it's that idea of being able to look at your home or your relationship situations in regards to those issues of self-worth that Lilith brought up, and really see how balance needs to be maintained between the give and take, whether that's emotional give and take, whether that's material give and take. But it's, Venus in Virgo is wanting us to look at how we are of service as well. So it could be quite a material balance that we are looking at in relation to maybe chores, or who brings in the money, or who, does certain things around the home. All right, and then between 5 and 6 a.m., we are inside of this eclipse energy. So closing down the eclipse cycle that started in November 2021. This is part 5. This is the last eclipse. This is the Scorpio Taurus axis eclipse, and it is asking us for some deep transformation in relation to our subconscious land, in relation to our long-term money, in relation to our daily money, where we find worth in ourselves, where we find worth in a financial aspect, as well as it's going to be really shining some light on some secrets, okay? So yeah, we're going to be quite tired, I think, Sunday morning. So at 7:24 a.m., the sun is opposition to the moon, of course, with the eclipse very, very close together. So this is the sun shining very, very bright light on how we are finding emotional security. And Scorpio sun asking for depth of emotion, asking for rebirth of something. And the moon in Taurus clinging to comfort and wanting to avoid conflict, digging its heels in. So this is like family secrets being revealed, relationship secrets being revealed. It's secrets of, underlying things that we didn't want to see. It's subconscious patterns coming to the light. Because 7:25, that is when we get the full moon in Taurus at its highest. So with the full moon in Taurus, we're coming in that eclipse energy, we get the complete full moon, and then the full moon in Taurus, which is going at its highest with this opposition, okay, to the sun in Scorpio, all right? So this is really that transformational energy of the eclipse throughout this whole time period, all right? So this is full moon in Taurus, very easy to get irritated, very easy to be moody. And because of it being opposition to the sun, this is the energy of family disputes being able to occur, all right? So you will find a difficulty in finding your peace because with the full moon combined with the light of the sun, and looking at your security, this is like your inner world and your material world security. And it could feel like that has been breached, that your security has been breached. And there's a confusion around being able to think with your head and feel with your heart, because it's like the idea of, going from a dark room out into the sun and being blinded. So these energies are very intense, very bright, and it makes it very difficult to see the difference between head and heart, to feel properly, to think properly. It's very confusing energy because of how bright it is. And it is the feminine and the masculine energy being off balance because of how heightened they are. Okay, so it makes it very difficult to see through things. And because of this, and because it's within this eclipse energy of transformation, it's going to make it very difficult to see and project who we are during this time period. So, you might find difficulty in material things like choosing what to wear, choosing how you want to present yourself, choosing who you want to spend time with, choosing what you want to do for the day, because it's going to be so unbalanced because both of these energies are very bright during this time, okay? So carrying on from this very confusing and unbalanced energy, at 2:44 p.m., Mercury makes an opposition to Jupiter. So Mercury in Scorpio and Jupiter in Taurus. Again, Scorpio and Taurus, which is the axis that we are dealing with this eclipse closing out. So this is that energy of promising more than you can deliver, because you are in a daydreaming kind of mode. And it brings up ideas of spirituality, and we start looking for answers inside of that place. Okay, it's really not a good time to confide in people that you do not have a deep bond with, because with Jupiter and Taurus expanding and being extra bright because of this eclipse, anything that you say to somebody who you don't share a deep bond with, like, there's a risk that they're going to be chatty and they're going to tell everybody. So if you are working on a new business idea or you have a new relationship in the works, keep it quiet unless you are around a family member or a relationship connection that you do share a very deep bond with. That is the Scorpio energy. And we are in Scorpio season. So really trying to keep those secrets under wraps, just particularly on Sunday, unless you are with people that you have a deep knowing with. Okay, also be very cautious when it comes to legal issues, when it comes to contracts, when it comes to people making promises, because that promising more than you can deliver energy, it comes from people being deceptive with words, because Mercury and Scorpio, okay? So Scorpio can be quite a deceptive energy as well. It can really get quite vindictive and quite revenge driven, and all of that being able to kind of be quite manipulative. So people could be very deceptive with their words as well, particularly sun shining very brightly on this. So don't trust people too easily. Really sink into your own inner knowing and try and spend time and offer your trust and energy to people you share a deep bond with, okay, under this energy. At 4:05 p.m., we see a semi-square between the moon in Taurus and Neptune in Pisces. So this is likely to be your comfort being disrupted, and being disrupted by something that comes up, either like a past fear, a past addiction, a past or an illness presenting itself as well is quite common with Neptune in Pisces, making these more negative aspects. All right, and Taurus being our self-worth and our body. So just be very careful on Sunday, okay? Try not to take any big risks because everything is very, very off balance, all right? At 5:36 p.m., we do see a positive aspect between the moon in Taurus and Jupiter in Taurus. So this could be financial gains, this could be social success. So perhaps you have a conversation with someone you do have a deep bond with about a new idea you've got in business or a new relationship, and it does, it does have positive results. Okay, so this is really great energy for socializing, really great for having like healthy life desires and wealthy feelings and really wanting to be artistic and move towards ambition. Okay, at 6 p.m., the moon makes an opposition with Mercury and Scorpio. So while our spiritual gifts and our intuition are going to be quite high during this, there is a high chance of also misusing them. So that idea of assuming somebody's feelings based on your intuition and acting from that place and not from a place of truth, because there's going to be a lot of delusion with this energy and a lot of confusion in the way that people are thinking. So even though we might intuitively feel something, we need to make sure, Mercury, being our communication, we need to make sure that our intuition is correct by talking about it. Otherwise, we could be volatile. We might be acting superficially. We might be acting too hastily based on this feeling of wanting to trust our stronger intuition. Okay, so 6:30 p.m., another opposition, this time between the moon in Taurus and Mars in Scorpio. So this is taking action on this issue that just came up, all right? So this is like, even though you could be excited, this is an exciting kind of energy. Because it is an opposition, it could be pushing further into being belligerent, into being hasty. So again, if you have assumed things based on your intuition, and now you are taking action on that, you could be looking at the masculine and feminine energy quite unbalanced under this energy as well. So this is like fighting with the opposite sex. This is like, not being able to see the truth when it comes to the feminine energy. So someone in their feminine energy being quite emotional, you intuitively thinking you know what they are feeling, taking offense by that and acting out. Okay, so this is also very passionate energy. So if you are someone who likes to have a bit of spice after a fight, this is the energy for that. Okay, also be careful here, because moon in Taurus, Mars in Scorpio with its intensity, and Taurus with its, obsession with shiny things, you could overspend definitely. So if you, are someone who is in that intense, passionate relationship space on Sunday night, just be careful you're not overspending, all right? And just also be aware of repressing your feelings and everybody around you repressing their feelings, because of this kind of deep, passionate, emotional space that we are in. All right, 7:56 p.m. we have an aspect between the moon in Taurus and Saturn in Pisces, and this is a really nice culmination of the day. Okay, this is looking over the emotions and situations that have come up through this eclipse energy and trying to ground into them through organizing them, so getting your journal out, journaling, talking to someone about it who you trust. All right, so looking into your personal values that have come up, looking into your rule structures that have come up, and really thinking of how you're going to do the work and thinking of what it taught you. All right, so what it taught you in relation to your subconscious, what it taught you in relation to your own ideas of inner security and self-worth. All right, so ending out a very, very heavy day of energy on Sunday night with some nice energy for meditating. All right, so if you can, Saturn in Pisces likes the water. If you can get to the beach, if you can watch the sunset, do some meditating on all of the energies that have come up over the last week, and really looking at how far you have come. Like, go back to November 2021 and really have a look at how far you have come and praise yourself for that. Find your inner security and knowing in the fact that you have evolved and changed since November 2021. You can have a look at your chart as well in where Scorpio and Taurus is. That is what you have transformed. If you want any help in looking through that, I've got 50% off at the moment on birth chart readings and astrological counseling. So find me on my website or send me an email and we can do your birth chart and have a look at what this eclipse energy has been bringing up for you and what you have been focusing on since November 2021, so that you can really get a look at and see how much work you have done. So I hope you've come out of this eclipse unscathed and stronger and with more space to enter into this next Aries and Libra space for the next couple of years and be very transformative in that energy. It's been a rough couple of months for energy, particularly it's been a rough couple of weeks as we have been inside of this eclipse portal. Since November 2021, there has been a lot of really deep loss, really deep and heavy cycles being purged. So yeah, Sunday night, just take it easy. Take it easy, do something that gives you comfort and inner security, look at something beautiful, do some self-care, and really give yourself a pat on the back for how far you've come since November 2021. Because if you're anything like me, it has been a journey. And I, for one, am very excited to get to Sunday night and have a little personal celebration of my own. So until you see me tomorrow, stay weird.